Hello, welcome to Living in Dawsonville. I'm Holly Barrett, your favorite local realtor and investor. All right, so today I wanted to talk about the local market and how weird it is. And honestly, it seems like this is kind of the temperature all over the country. Um, it feels like a buyer's market, and in some markets, it actually is, according to the data. But in a lot of markets, it feels like a buyer's market, but the data is still showing a seller's market. And it can be a little misleading and confusing when we're at a listing appointment and we're going over pricing, and the realtor, because we're out there doing this every day, we know that even though the data is showing us this, that it looks healthier than it is, we know that we're in a pricing, either a pricing declining or a pricing static environment, and that resales versus new homes, resales are having a tough time, especially if they're dated and they're not, super upgraded and don't have any kind of really super special features, or the location, etc. I mean, resales are just having a hard time. And so when we put our pricing together, a lot of times they, in their mind, are seeing the data and we should be pricing at the peak, and the real estate agent's kind of like, look, like, we really need to be aggressive on the pricing. The range should be, down here. So it can be tough and it's hard to explain, because what I think is happening is that the new sales are inflating the figures. So let's dive into it for a second. Let me talk about Dawsonville specifically, which is where I live. So in Dawsonville, I'm using some notes. I'm looking over the notes, just so you know. We have an average home value of about $448,000, which is down slightly year over year. Our median sold price is $408,000, which is up 2.8% from last year. So that's average home value is a little down, but the median sale price is a little up. So that can be a little confusing. And then homes are sitting longer, which we're definitely experiencing. 39 days on market now versus 20 last year. And in Dawson County specifically, there are 341 homes listed in June 2025, which is up 6% from May. So inventory is up, which you would expect in the summer seasons. And in Dawson, so prices are holding, but homes are taking longer to sell. And there over 55% of resales sold under asking in June. So sellers are having to reduce price. And typically you're going to see a 3 to 5% price reduction to make a dent. And I'm seeing a lot of these homes being reduced by very small margins, and that ain't going to cut it. All right, so let's talk about the resale versus new construction and why we're having such a hard time on the resale side. So new homes are keeping prices higher, while the resales are dropping their pricing significantly. Because builders aren't cutting their prices, they're boosting up the proposition with incentives. And things like rate buy downs and closing cost assistance and upgrades. So buyers feel like they're getting a better deal with the new builds, because even if the price is a little bit higher for the new build versus the resale, they're looking at the whole package. And a lot of buyers these days, they don't want to do work. I'm noticing that a lot. When I was buying homes, I always wanted the ugliest one on the block, right? You always you wanted, I don't know, that's like, I'm not seeing that anymore. They're not seeing because also the cost of renovating has gone up so much. So people just don't seem to want to do it. All right. And then the new build advantages. So new homes, less maintenance, newer systems, fewer repairs. They come with warranties, which In my most robust listing package, I always include a warranty, a home warranty for the buyers. So I think that's good. That's very attractive to them. And builders can offer better financing terms than most resale sellers. So it's hard to compete with that. All this makes new homes a lot more attractive. But what about resale? Let's talk about the benefits of that. From a buyer's perspective, as a representative of the buyer, I would tell them you have a lot more opportunity to increase your equity if you do the renovations. Sometimes that's just not what they're looking for. A lot of times it seems like. Anyway, resale homes are sitting longer. Price reductions are everywhere. And buyers are negotiating hard. Inspections, repairs, credits, the whole package. And look, when I'm on the listing side, of course, you want to do everything you can do to negotiate for your seller. A lot of that has to do with pricing right at the beginning, because the more inflated the price, the more you're going to get. I mean, honestly, it's hard to even get an offer at all when you're overpriced. So, the hands are in the buyer's, the cards are in the buyer's hands. In that regard, when you're not getting any offers, you finally get one. It's like, well, they hold all the cards, right? But if you can price right, price aggressively, if there is deferred maintenance, go in strong with a buyer's credit towards closing costs, towards upgrades, etc. Get creative. Then they have a few less cards to play, right? That's all just about strategizing and listening and collaborating with your real estate agent. Pick a real estate agent that you trust, that you believe in, and listen to them when they have advice. Work as a team. But absolutely, if I'm representing buyers right now, we're going to be shooting for the stars, because we know these homes are sitting and collecting dust. So you can be aggressive right now. If your house isn't updated or priced right, it's going to stall. And we are seeing that. A quick comparison. Let's see. Average resale in Dawsonville, Georgia is $408,000. Average new build is around $426,000. I'm noticing a lot of the new builds in the same price range are going to have more square footage oftentimes. And obviously they're brand new. They're going to be more updated, more with the times. So your resales might have a bigger lot. There's benefits in the resales too. These new builds, they're going to have smaller lots by and large, especially in Dawsonville. A lot of our resales, and that's the tough part too, at least in Dawsonville, is the resales, because they have more land typically. It's going to raise the value of the property as a whole, but the home itself could be small, it could be super dated. So the buyers are just, it's like, what do they want? Do they want land? I'm sorry. I know we wanted land, but not everyone wants land. They're going to have to pay taxes on the land. Meanwhile, the home still needs to be they may still need to put money into the home. So it's all about looking at that holistically. Resale, there's more room to negotiate. So that's a benefit right now. New builds, more perks, but fewer discounts. So not as much room to negotiate. So buyers, take that into consideration. Buyers, you have the power right now in Dawsonville. You've got the cards, so you can play them. Get out there and don't wait. You can get out there. If you see a high sticker price and you love the house, if it's not a new build and it's a resale, well, maybe it's time. And if it's been sitting for 6 months, we'll throw a number out. You never know until you try. Sellers, you got to price smart. Unless you don't care about selling the house. If you're serious about selling the house, price it right. Okay? Listen to the professional. If you don't want to listen to the professional, then do it for sale by owner. Why bother hiring? I'll get off my pedestal. If you're going to hire a professional and pay us a healthy commission, then heed our advice. Work as a team. This is a tough market. It really is. And you got to put your thinking cap on and use strategy, get creative, try different things. And realtors, we got to pick up the phone. We've got to reverse prospect. We've got to, cabin market, for example, really difficult in North Georgia right now. I'm going to try some targeted Facebook ads in super targeting a demographic of outdoor enthusiasts and higher income buyers on Facebook in the Tampa Bay area who might be looking for a cabin to buy in North Georgia. So, we gotta think outside the box a little, try what we can. So yeah, all in all, guys, it's a seller's market on paper, but if you ask any realtor up here in North Georgia anyway, we're all feeling like it's a buyer's market. So those are my thoughts for today. I hope you guys have an awesome one. If you have any questions, if you want me to build you a custom marketing analysis, pricing analysis for your property that you're thinking about selling, if you want me to do some builder comparisons for the new home constructions around here, or if you're an investor and you're looking for some flip opportunities or some small multifamily or rentals up here, give me a holler. I will be happy to work for you and work with you to strategize and figure out what's best for your portfolio. Hit like and subscribe. Thanks for listening. Ciao.